Transfer news to talk about this morning. Manchester United have got the number 9 they were so desperately seeking. They have agreed a deal to sign striker Rasmus Hojland from Atalanta in a deal that could be worth £72 million. Mark McAdams here. Where are we up to?
Yeah, breakthrough finally last night for Manchester United. After negotiations had been going on for some time, we knew that Erik ten Hag wanted desperately a new number 9 for the forthcoming campaign, and he's got his man finally. It was around yesterday evening, 7 o'clock, when we confirmed on Sky Sports News that they had agreed a deal with Atalanta, who are currently in the UK on their pre-season tour. I was down at the Vitality Stadium yesterday doing my best to try and find out what the very latest was. Everyone was remaining very tight-lipped. Rasmus Hojland was in the 23-man squad that was announced on Friday night. He got his boots on. He warmed up before the game. He warmed up at half-time, but he didn't play a single second. And immediately you looked at that situation and thought, well, the fact that he's not playing in a pre-season game to get some match fitness would suggest that things were at an advanced stage. And shortly after the Atalanta team left the Vitality Stadium, it got confirmed that the deal had been agreed. It's £64 million with an £8 million set of bonuses. So it takes the deal to in excess of 70. Manchester United will look upon that as a deal well done, because Atalanta set their stall out very early on that they were looking for closer to 90 to 100 million euros. So I think both parties will look at this as a really good deal. We know that there was a passing interest from PSG as well. Their offer that went in was immediately rejected because it was nowhere near what Manchester United were willing to pay. So therefore, it was just Manchester United left in the driving seats. We know that personal terms wouldn't have been a problem as well. We knew that the player had a desire to join Manchester United, and it's expected he'll sign a 5-year contract with the option of a further year. So, yeah, big news for Erik ten Hag. Less than 2 weeks now until the Premier League season starts. And finally, he's got a new striker.
So what are United getting exactly? I think I remember you saying when we were talking yesterday, when you were down at Bournemouth and you talked to Andoni Iraola, the new manager at Bournemouth, and he pretty much said, I wouldn't mind if he doesn't play, he's a big boy.
Yeah, he's a physical presence. He's only young. He's had a really sharp rise from Austrian football, where he signed for Sturm Graz for a couple of million euros, to then going to Serie A just 6 months later for 17 million. A year later, he's now going for in excess of 70 million pounds. It shows you how quick he has gone from being a footballer, in Austrian footballer, to one of the biggest institutions in world football. So I think Manchester United fans need to be aware that he's not the finished product. He's very raw, massive talent, massive potential, and Erik ten Hag will believe he can coach and develop him to become the all-round number 9 that Manchester United fans want. There's no question he's got ability now. He's very good at pulling into the channel. He's a real physical presence. He's a nuisance. He's big, he's 6'2", 6'3". You know that you're in a game when you're up against him. He's quick as well. He's got the ability to drop into pockets, score goals. He's played Champions League football. So he brings all of those attributes. But whether he'll be able to do it immediately is the big question mark.
Well, there's talk of having Marcus Rashford taking some of the number 9 burden in the first few months of Hojland's career at Old Trafford, isn't it?
And just allowing him to develop without that pressure, because there is pressure. You look at the price tag, you look at the club he's playing for and the badge he's got on his chest, there will be an expectation that you have to fill that role of Wayne Rooney and Cristiano Ronaldo and Ruud van Nistelrooy and Dwight York and so on and so forth, the greats that Manchester United have had in that position. And there's no question, I think Manchester United and Erik ten Hag believe he can become that player in time. It might just take a little bit of time, but the raw materials are all there, and that's why they've invested such a large sum in him.
And is that United done now for the window? Ten Hag wanted 3 key positions filling. He's done it all at a cost of £170 million. Are they finished?
Yes, but not quite. This is the fascinating thing about transfers, is that you can think all of your business is done, and suddenly you get an offer for one of your players, and that leaves a bit of a void that you need to fill. And there could be another player that gets presented to you that you didn't have a plan for, but you think this is too good an opportunity to turn down. We didn't know he was available, and actually we can make the money work. In terms of Manchester United now, their focus will shift to getting players out the door. We know that there is interest in Harry Maguire, Scott McTominay, Fred, Donny van de Beek. So there is 4 players there that are first-team players around the world, no question about it. Whether they will be first-team players at Manchester United is the big question. But there will be a focus on, can we raise some cash? We've spent £170 million. We need to bring a little bit back in and make sure that some of these players are happy. That will be their focus. But we know that there is an interest in Sofyan Amrabat at Fiorentina. He's a defensive holding midfielder. Manchester United have spoken to Fiorentina during the course of this summer's transfer window. There's no advanced talks. There's interest at this stage. That could be one to watch over the coming days and weeks as we edge towards deadline day. But they're focused very much on shifting the players that they don't think will be in that squad week in, week out.